I'm not in a fun mood at the moment, but let's have a go for
Well, I believe this will be fun. Good morning. This is Come Out, Speak Out with Dan the Man with a plan. Yes, 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 he can. I appreciate Dan. He sent some nice, cheerful words. He's thought about me having kids in a place that used to be known as Black Country, which I actually.
He's gonna go and live in. Yeah.
I'm fondly tied to because I've seen part of the history, and you actually give a good description of the place, unlike most people. So Dan is helping me prepare for life in the UK test. So I want to test how UK Dan is. So Dan, please
Let's go.
start.
Exam 10. Let's go.
Okay.
For it. So,
Start. What's the first question?
who is the patron saint of England?
Do you know that?
St. George.
St. George?
St. George, yeah, and he was never. He was French. And I don't think. I think he might have visited England once.
Once.
Yeah. But don't hold me to that.
Oh, you got it.
He's correct.
He's
Yeah.
correct.
Where is Loch Lomond and the Trossachs, I can't pronounce that, national park located? Go on, this is an easy one, Dammy. So it's a loch,
So Scotland.
Scotland, yeah. So lakes in Scotland are called lochs.
I was reading the life in the UK test, and from what I understand, who is truly from Britain? Because everyone was fighting, siblings were fighting,
Oh God, yeah.
and it's a lot.
There's a lot of fighting in
There's
British
a lot
history,
of-
yeah. I'm still fighting.
That's-
yeah, this is it. When we get like international students come to Britain and they're always surprised that like Northern Ireland. So then I don't think a lot of people globally, say maybe in America, people are aware of it, but not a lot of people are aware that there's fighting within the UK.
Yes.
And only in the late 90s were we able to resolve the conflict that was taking place in Northern Ireland.
In the late 90s.
The late 90s, 1997.
Whoa.
And we call that the Troubles. No one talks about it anymore, it's called the Troubles. But that was basically the Catholic population and the Protestant population. Yes, yeah.
So how is that going? Because I know the Protestants and the Catholics were fighting. Even like one of the Henrys changed the school and made an English. And I was like, wow.
Whole of history, British history was changed in that moment. So you had the Catholic Church dominated Europe. And then Henry obviously.
No, he wanted his
He wanted to be
independence.
Yeah. And there was a new thought of Christianity that had come out.
Enlightenment? Is that what?
No. It's kind of in a sense, but is it? Oh, what's his name? There's a famous monk, I think, who disagrees with how the Catholic Church is run, and then kind of nails on the doors. I think it's in France or no, Luther. It's like Martin Luther maybe or something like that. Basically, it's the birth of Protestant thinking.
Okay.
But then obviously Henry VIII disagrees with the Catholic Church on divorce and sees that as an opportunity to create a Protestant church within England.
That happens around the world. People create their churches so they can get married to more people.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he wanted the power, and that was it. Britain was changed forever, and ever since then there's been periods of British history where you've had a Catholic king or queen, and then a Protestant king and queen, and that's been felt throughout the history of still felt. You still get it. So Northern Ireland's still big, but that's also mixed in. The Troubles in Northern Ireland were religious, but also
local.
The idea of do the Northern Irish people want to belong to the Republic of Ireland, and then obviously you've got a community of Northern Irish people who see their identity with Britain. So it's a.
Because I learned there's Great Britain, there's the UK.
Yeah.
But the UK is not the whole of Ireland.
No,
that's
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom,
yeah.
So it's like, I believe, from watching the song could come from maybe Spain, and whoa, and the whole thing starts again, and it would make sense. And I'm happy I understand that. It will make sense.
Yeah.
Like if that past comes, I won't be shook. I don't think I should be. I should just be prepared. Guns arms. Get ready. If that makes-
Hopefully, I don't think we'll get that point again.
But I don't think they knew.
Oh, yeah.
UK would have.
Here we go. Question 3. Wales has its own established church. I'm saying false.
I'm saying false. Yeah.
But, yeah. There we go. I was thinking, is it a trick question here? Okay, so this is a question I don't know the name of. So what story is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer? I'm thinking the options are the Cambridge Tales, the Eastbourne Tales, the London Tales, and I know the answer to this purely because it's the only one that makes sense. The Canterbury Tales, which is a well-known book.
Yeah, the Canterbury Tales. Yeah, that's what I would have clicked.
Okay, so sometimes you got to guess, don't you? When is Boxing Day celebrated? Come on, we both know this.
26th of March. You see what I did there? You ain't ready for that.
26th of December. What is the name of the holiday when banks and many other businesses are closed for the day?
Bank and business holiday?
Bank holidays. You're getting there.
No, I knew it was bank, but just when they describe it, because you really don't know the definition until.
They were tricking you then.
Yeah, they are.
Here we go. This is interesting. Why were women given the right to vote? So in recognition of their contribution to the war effort during the First World War, recognition of the contribution to the war effort during the Second World War, in recognition of their contribution to the Crimean War, or in recognition to the contribution during the Civil War. So,
is it Crimean or first?
It's gonna be.
That was in early 19th where they were allowed. First World War was.
It would have been the First World, because it was only in the First World War after that voting became, in a sense, open to the whole population. So this is interesting because they obviously before World War One it was only a certain class.
That could be fine.
You had to own land, be a business owner, be of a certain age, and then after World War One, because of
population decrease.
Well, it's more because people came back angry, so they were sent to go and fight in this disgusting, horrible war. And the conditions were terrible. And then they came back and wanted more rights because they didn't have rights before. And obviously they wanted a say then.
If you see people die in war, you realize yes, you need need rights.
You sent a significant portion of the British young male population died in that war. Entire villages, generation of a group of kids when they never came back. I'm a bit stuck on this one. I'm a bit stuck. So there's because women do get the vote, but they get the vote after men, and then it's women of a certain age, and then all women of a certain age. So it comes in stages for women. I do know.
In America, women are given the right to vote, but then they did that so they could be used as soldiers.
I'm going to go Second World War because I'm thinking, is it universal? So in other words, women and men having the same voting rights. Though I know, part of me feels it's the First World War, and I'm going to kick myself for this.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wrong. So in 1918, that was it. Women over 30. That's like I told you, comes in stages for women. While men get the same. So it was the first. See, this is it.
How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel like I need to
refresh.
Yeah. Why do you need to drive? What do you need to drive in the UK? An old plate, a national insurance number, a valid driving license, an R plate. So you need a valid driving license to be able to drive.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. No, just a valid driving license.
Oh, was it 2 or 1 option?
Yeah.
One. Okay.
Technically, you could say an L plate, but you need a valid driving license.
So
you
need a valid license.
Even a learning license. There we go. Where does the Fringe Festival take place? It's going on right now. You've got to go.
Wales?
Edinburgh.
Oh, so it's up
I really
north.
recommend this, that everyone goes to Edinburgh for the month of August.
You heard him. Yeah. Edinburgh, August.
Look, it is amazing.
It's amazing.
It's like an arts festival in the first week or two, and it becomes the world's biggest comedy festival.
Ooh.
So wherever you go, there's comedy. You know.
So Scottish people are funny.
So people from all over the world come for
really?
it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
And like wherever you go, there's every pub, every restaurant. If they've got a spare space, there's a show going on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. How come it's only secluded up there?
Oh, you've got to go to see it. The city of Edinburgh's big, and then every day
castles and
till like goodness knows what in the morning. There's comedy going on non-stop. Yeah. Okay.
Edinburgh.
How many members does the Welsh Government have?
50.
The option is 150, 120, 90 or 60. I'm feeling 90.
I think 100 and something. I'm not saying.
You want to go 150?
No,
120.
20 maybe.
Okay, I'm feeling 90. No, 60. We're
60.
both wrong.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's a smaller.
It's a smaller. Yeah.
It's a smaller group and smaller population.
It's even funny, like England and Wales. There is a boundary border, but I don't think it's so enforced.
So none of the borders. None of the borders in the UK are hard borders.
Okay.
The only one technically that comes close to it is Northern Ireland, and that's because there's a sea between mainland the UK and then Northern Ireland.
Makes sense.
But a lot of like international students will query that, and they have the idea that they've got to, if they go to Scotland, they still do have to have a passport.
Passport ready. To go. No.
Yeah, no hard borders. You can just drive across them. Yeah. But note that the Welsh will, especially in the north of Wales, they do have their own language, and the Welsh language is very different to English.
No.
It's very
even their written language and the spoken is different.
And you will see signs in two languages. Yeah. Have you been?
Yeah, I mean, my aunt lives in Newport. She's been living there for over 20 years.
Yeah.
With her daughter and her son, but daughter's left back to Nigeria, so her son is there with his kids.
Has he got an accent? Has he got the Welsh accent? Yeah.
He's multilingual. He knows like 4 or 5 languages. Yeah, because back home, my mom's not from the main tribes of Nigeria, so she has to learn another language